Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode on the show. As you guys know, I only bring the best of guests to my show. Today's guest is Yogi Mueller, leadership strategist, speaker, and author of the great slapping and the upcoming book, Leadership Foil. For more than 2 decades, Yogi has helped leaders and organizations, including Disney, build stronger cultures, develop high-performing teams, and turn honest feedback into lasting growth. Yogi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so your newest book is Leadership Foil. Can you tell us about your book, Leadership Foil?
Sure. Leadership Fuel is all about finding that spark to help you keep your fire lit as a leader. With all the things that leaders have going on, all the pressures, all the frustrations, all the lack of resources, it's very easy for a leader's flame to go out, for that passion to be overtaken by all those stresses of the day. And when that happens, when your flame goes out as a leader, you can't light anybody else's fire. So you need to make sure that your flame is tended to. So this book, through the use of sparks, which are very simple, straightforward quotes and inspirational phrases that touch up to 20 different leadership categories to help you rekindle that spark, to keep it lit, to keep it bright, so you can be the best leader you can be.
All right, thank you so much. So your upcoming book, Leadership Foil, is built around the idea of sparks. What are they, and why do leaders need them more than ever?
Well, as mentioned, with all the stresses and just the craziness that leaders are working with these days, with we're doing more with less, and that creates a lot of pressure, that creates a lot of stress, and again, your job as a leader is to inspire others. And it's very difficult to inspire others when you are not inspired anymore, that your fire is dying. You forgot about the reasons that you became a leader and all those great ideals that you had because of all the craziness of the job. And so this book is a tool that I want every leader to have on their desk, that if they need a spark, if they need their fire tended to, if they need to get back that passion in their belly for being a great leader, pick up this book and find a quote, find a spark in there that inspires you or that you use to inspire your team, let's say at the next team meeting.
Okay, thank you so much, Yogi. So why do so many leaders struggle to receive honest feedback? And how can they overcome the ego that gets in the way?
Well, I think with leaders in terms of the feedback, a lot of times, these leaders will move into the area of self-preservation, meaning the job becomes all-encompassing and they're going to do everything they can to keep the job, especially these days with the economy. People are very protective of the role. What they call it, the people that have quit but still actually stayed in the job because they like the paycheck. And what happens with that is you get kind of numb to the feedback. You get kind of numb to the opportunities that you have because it's safer to be where you are than to grow. And when leaders are often offered feedback, a lot of times it's either ignored or sometimes taken as an attack, is something that's offensive, that, how dare you say that I need improvement in some area. And so all of those things contribute to a group of leaders that, tend to just kind of die out, right? They just kind of stagnate on the vine and dry up. And so that's why, the other book, the first book I wrote, The Great Slapping, is all about mentorship. It's all about the power of mentorship. It's all about you being brave enough as a professional, as somebody that's interested in your development, to be open to feedback, to be open to where your opportunities are, and don't have that big ego when it comes to your abilities. And it's also for the mentors out there to find those individuals that you believe in, that you want to invest in, and give them critical and tough feedback sometimes to make sure that they're heading in the right direction. So without that passion for leadership, without that trusted mentor, that somebody, or that ability to listen to feedback, you are going to wither on the vine and your fire is going to go out.
Okay, thank you so much. So tell us about the G.R.I.T Index assessment. What does it reveal about leaders that they often don't see in themselves?
Well, what the G.R.I.T Index assessment, the reason it was created was to focus specifically on feedback and two aspects of feedback. You know, Dominic, if you take it, what it does is it shows how receptive you are to listening to feedback and how defensive you are to feedback. And then it points out how well you act on the information that you received. Because there's a lot of leaders out there that won't even listen to feedback, that won't even hear it because they disagree with it. It's like, it's all wrong. I'm perfect. I don't have anything I need to improve. And, you know, we stop there, right? We have to work through that ego first. Well, then there's others that will listen to feedback, but then won't do anything about it. They'll sit on that information and they go, yeah, I might need to fix this, but I'm doing okay as I am, right? And so the second part of it deals with that. So after you take the assessment, we'd have enough information to get you through your ego and then get you moving to improve those things you need to improve upon.
All right, thank you so much. So, can you share a time when you failed as a leader and how that experience shaped the leader you have become today?
Well, I read a lot about those moments in my first book, The Great Slapping, because, you know, that great slapping are those moments where leaders that believe in you and are investing in your development know you're heading in the right direction and share some things with you that kind of sting like a slap. And, you know, there were what I called my great awakening was with a leader that I had when I was working for the Walt Disney Company. And, you know, I thought I knew it all. I thought I had everything figured out. And this guy named George, who I call my hero, just basically walloped me on the side of the head with a piece of feedback to the point that, you know, I did feel like I was slapped. And then you kind of wake up, you've got that moment of clarity. And I'm like, wow, it was the first time that I really understood what it meant to invest in somebody else, to have somebody believe in you, to somebody to hold you to a higher standard. I mean, my parents did it, but they were parents, right? That didn't count. They were family. This was somebody in the business world that I had no connection to other than a reporting relationship, but they believed in me enough to share feedback that woke me up. And that moment, I think, shaped how I spent the last, I don't know, 30 years, 25 years, 30 years as being a leader.
Okay, thank you so much, Yogi. So, what is the difference between leading with authority and leading with impact? And where do most leaders get it wrong?
Well, I think you hit it right on the head, Dominic, with that answer. You know, a title doesn't give you authority. I mean, a title, it does, right? Because people, if you have a title of like police chief, or if you have a title of, you know, CEO, you know, people are going to respond to you from a compliance standpoint. They're going to do it because they fear losing their job. They're going to fear this. They're going to fear that. And the only reason they move forward is because you leverage that title out of fear. True leaders will light the fire from inside. So, for example, I like using, you know, fire as example for a lot of things. You know, if you are stepping on a fire, you're going to do anything you can to get out of that fire. Well, that's what bosses do. That's what people that lead by titles, right? They provide that negative kind of reinforcement, and they're going to do anything to avoid getting punished. A real leader will actually build that fire inside you, will build that fire of passion, will ignite that fire and you will be self-propelled moving forward, not to get out of danger, not to avoid being punished, but you're going to do it because you truly believe in it. And you're going to be inspired to do that. And that's not compliance. That's compassion. That's not compliance. That's, something that you truly believe in and you're going to go after, and your leader helped unlock that in you. That's the big difference right there. You can get somebody to do what you want as long as you're beating them over the head, as they say. A true leader won't do that.
All right, thank you so much. So if you could leave every leader listening right now with one powerful slap, one truth they need to hear, what would it be?
I think it's courage. And I think it's courage for two things. The first is the courage to be open to feedback, the courage to truly understand that you have opportunities, that you're not perfect, and to find those individuals that are going to give you feedback. And if you ask for feedback, be brave enough to hear it and then do something about it. I think that's the first thing. But then also be courageous enough to find somebody that you want to pass on your knowledge to. Be courageous enough to be a mentor, to give somebody those great slappings and help shape them because you truly believe in their potential. Both of those take a great amount of trust. Both of those take a great amount of there's emotional context involved in there. And it takes courage. It takes courage to hear the truth, but it also takes courage to deliver the truth as well.
All right, thank you so much. This has been a very exciting episode. Thank you for joining us and sharing such a practical and honest leadership wisdom. So, Yogi, is there a question you wish I would have asked you that I did not ask you?
Yeah, so Dominic, I think you asked a lot of really great questions. And I think the question that I'm going to leave you with, or that I wish you would have asked, would be another question to ask the leaders. And if you're in a position where you might able to become a leader, you have a potential promotion opportunity, or you want to be a leader, really understand why you want to be a leader. What is the reason why you want that responsibility? If you want it for the raise, if you want it for the title, if you want it for the big corner office, those are the wrong reasons to be a leader. I need you to really understand that being a leader is about promoting others and supporting others and leaving them better than you found them, and being a good steward of talent, not just the steward of your organization and your business, but a steward of the people that are in your business. And so again, being a leader, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of layers and a lot of responsibilities. And if you're in it for the wrong reason, you're gonna create a lot of damage, not just for your professional career, but for the others around you.
All right, thank you so much, Yogi. Thank you for that piece of advice. So for those that would like to connect with you and those who would like to get your book, how can they do that?
The easy way to do that is, the new book doesn't come out until August 19th, but that will be found on Amazon.com and other retailers. You can get Great Slapping that way, or you can go to YogiMueller.com and you'll find links to everything that you need.
All right, thank you so much, Yogi. Bye.